Hey everyone, my name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at some I Don't Work Here Lady stories, so sit back, relax and enjoy. Bookstores and angry old people. I go to Indigo, a Canadian bookstore chain, very often to pick up some books to read, obviously. One day I was looking at books to get and this older lady comes literally bolting at me. It almost seemed like she was going to tackle me. She takes a quick stop right in front of me, stares at me, then bolts and takes a sharp turn down a different aisle. I just look at some random old lady and we had a laugh and then continued browsing. I was in the crime section, which is just a small aisle. Then there's an entire corner with the fiction books in the back of the store, which is where the lady ran off toward. I went back there to look at different books. I walk around the corner and see this lady, and I am not joking when I say this, pull out a freaking white cane, like the ones that fold up and blind people use, and unfolds it and begins to knock a load of books off the top shelves. She did not look like she was attempting to get a book, she looked like she was intending to make a mess. She then looks at me and noticed I saw her do this. Then this is where everything went downhill with her. These books fell all over me. Do you work here? Did you stock these shelves? Me, laughing nervously cause I don't even know what I just saw. No, I wish I worked here, I love this place. If you lie to me again, you won't see the end of me. I'll be here every day and night waiting for you so I can give you more hell for the awful job you did stocking the shelving. I mean, okay, I'm here like once a month at least, so if you want, but I mean it, I wish I worked here, but I don't. I'm tired of you stupid kids doing your job in a lazy manner. They're not being held accountable for the problems that come with their horrible duties. Okay, I'm tired too. I'm a cashier at this company, so if you want to pop by for proof, I'm not lying. I work Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I'm going to get you fired. You don't treat your elders like this. Then a worker hears me laughing dramatically at this old lady, whose face is so red from me catching her do this. I see the worker and just start exposing her. Well, you should have thought about how you'd like to be treated before I caught you pulling the books onto yourself. Ma'am, this young lady was throwing books at me. She reached the top shelf and threw them at me. The worker looked at me and then the shelf. I'm 5'3", okay? The top shelf is like 7 to 8 feet high. Worker literally laughed. I'll be back in a few seconds. She walked around the corner towards this little ledge they have that looks off to the rest of the store, so she was still in earshot of us. She left for maybe 20 minutes, and I continued to look at books while she called her husband to tell him how I am going to be fired from both of my jobs. When I only have one, the worker comes back with her manager. Ma'am, you gotta get going. We have a camera right there. She points at the cameras, and we saw you pulling the books down. I don't know what you were trying to do, but... The worker gets rudely interrupted. Oh my goodness, is this man the manager? That girl over there, you need to fire her. She cries in fear of being exposed. She was actually shaking too, because I could see her hand shaking so much. I think she thought she was going to be arrested or something, I don't know. The manager scoffs. Ugh. No, she doesn't even work here, and she's dealt with you pretty well clearly. I didn't hear any yelling coming from her, only you. So, please, if you will. She left screaming and yelling, still going on about getting me fired from both of my jobs. Once again, I only have one. I knew something was up with that lady when she started to bolt toward me in the store. But yeah, I went back the next day hoping for a scream of the day, but she didn't show up. Makes me super sad. FYI, didn't get the job at the store, manager led me on. How confusing though, they literally said, "Oh, I don't work here, I work over here." And the lady thought, that must mean they work both places. Ice skates nearly ruined my date. So I, 17-year-old female, got my first date. It is the winter and was going to be an ice skating in a big town. So I am really excited because I like ice skating because I am abnormally good at it without doing it for very long. My date, Jay, a 17-year-old male, is super cute and I am really excited because I know the area and I know everything about it. So we are really excited and it's like his first time going ice skating and he didn't know how to ice skate. I did. He was really tall compared to me, but I held him up because I got freaky strength. Soon a woman came over and said, "It's my turn to learn how to skate." I was taken aback and quickly laughed. "Ha, no miss, I am on a date." She frowned. "I don't care. I need to learn. You have been working with him for 15 minutes. I was not dressed for work. I was wearing Harry Potter's Ravenclaw shirt and a scarf with a puffy coat. "Sorry, I think there is a mistake. I don't work here. I am not even from this town. I just wanted to ice skate." She shook her head and was mad. "No, I don't want to fall." I pointed to the wall. "You can hold the wall or go to the people that sell the skates and get that kiddie thing." Jay was pretty annoyed. "Lady, I asked her out, not you, so go on." I followed him as we left and left the lady. My date fell down a couple times and I went down with him and we laughed. So then she comes back. You don't work here." She pointed at me. "How did you know about the kiddie walkers?" I snorted and my date was laughing so hard he couldn't get up. "Lady, I have been here with my cousins for the past 2 years. I enjoy watching the older one fall, but the little ones I don't." "Well, I'm sorry, I was rude." She held out a Visa card with $15 on it. "Here, I felt bad about ruining your date. Go get some free food." I smiled. "Thanks, lady." She left and my date looked at me. "You got free stuff 'cause you're lucky." I bought pizza at a local hole-in-the-wall shop. We are getting another date soon. That was really unexpected. I was not expecting a Karen to give a $15 card, but that's good, that's a good sign. From Anomaly researcher to employee of a camera shop. So this happened a couple of months ago. I was on my way to a convention with a couple of friends. I was wearing a cosplay of an SCP Foundation's researcher. So a custom lab coat, white shirt, glasses, clipboard, etc. I also have a custom badge to be more credible. Unfortunately, our photographer friend had a little problem with the battery of his camera, so we had to make a small detour to a mall. I was driving, so I wasn't wearing the full cosplay. After parking the car, I accompanied my friend to buy a new battery. The others stayed in the car because they were wearing the full cosplay. When we entered the mall, my friend went to the info point while I started looking around to kill some time. After a minute, a man in his mid-60s approached me. "Excuse me, can I ask you a question?" Sure." He showed me the 2 cameras he was holding. "I have to buy a camera for my daughter's wedding, but I can't decide which one is the best." I'm not an expert, I'm sorry, but I can't help you." "What do you mean you can't help me?" "I don't know anything about cameras." "Are you kidding me?" "No, but I'm sure that an employee will arrive to help you." "You should be said employee." "Do I look like I work here?" "Well, yes, you are dressed as one. You even have the badge." I looked around and noticed that all the employees were wearing the same white shirt as me, and I was wearing my badge on my jeans. I just started laughing out of nowhere in front of this poor man, attracting the attention of everyone in the shop. After that, an actual employee reached us, and I explained the situation. The poor man was very confused. I am used to people who do not recognize my cosplay, but this is a whole nother level. To be fair to the old man, the cosplay just does look like professional attire. Kinda sad I don't work here, lady. So last week I went to the local mall with my pal for some shopping. This mall has just been refurbished, and it's our first time visiting since the refurbishment. We needed some groceries, so we went straight to the supermarket section. We grabbed some fruit and veg and whatnot, and we were just about to check out when we saw this old lady standing near the snack aisle. She looked utterly confused and kept pacing back and forth near the aisle as if she was in a maze and didn't know which way to go. Then she just dropped her bag of groceries, which I assume had already been paid for, on the floor and made to walk away, still looking very lost. We decided to go over and help her. I picked up the lady's dropped bag and caught up with her. She looked utterly bewildered when I said, "Excuse me, ma'am," as if she had just witnessed me apparate out of thin air. I handed the bag to her, but she refused to take it. Then she pulled out a gift redemption card, the kind you're supposed to fill up the stickers so you can redeem stuff, and abruptly asked us to help her redeem a saucepan. I calmly explained to her that number one, we couldn't help her because obviously we don't work there, and number two, the card was completely empty. She hadn't put a single sticker on it, so it wasn't valid anyway. She then proceeded to throw a fit, saying that we were bad and lazy employees. When I tried to calm her down, she broke down and cried. People were now eyeing us as if we just bullied this old lady to tears, and we had no idea what to do. It suddenly occurred to me that this poor old lady probably had dementia of some sort, which was likely why she was behaving so oddly. But then, if that was the case, why was she all alone in such a huge mall? I came to the conclusion that someone must have brought her here, but for some reason decided to abandon her at the supermarket. I asked the sobbing old lady who had brought her to the mall, but she said she had no idea. We decided to take her to the help desk so we could try to find whoever it was that left her. We led this poor old lady to the nearest lift. The help desk was on the 3rd floor, with my friend having to tail her again, as tears had dried rather quickly and she was once again wandering. Luckily, we didn't have to get that far. A young woman came running towards us and said she was the lady's daughter. She thanked us for taking care of her mother and took her bag back from me. Apparently, the daughter had asked the old lady to wait outside the bakery while she went in to get some bread, but she had, of course, wandered off to the other end of the supermarket where the snack aisle was. I felt kinda sorry for the poor old soul and her daughter. Dementia is such a beast. That's so heartbreaking to see, but it's a really good job that there was 2 nice people there. He doesn't work for Ford. I just got to my mother-in-law's for Thanksgiving and heard my brother-in-law regale us with this recent tale of his. He answered the phone in his usual manner, announcing both his name and government department. She didn't bother to hear him. She started off, "Finally got one of you live, and you're gonna hear what I have to say, and then you're gonna help." She spoke incessantly for 25 minutes, complaining about her Ford vehicle and how everyone else she'd called had either hung up on her or simply refused to help. While she was rambling, my brother-in-law was trying to determine what he'd say when she finally ran out of breath. "I don't work here, lady" had come to mind at some point. When she finally asked, "Well, are you going to fix my Ford or not?" he replied calmly, "Ma'am, I'm positive that the US government, the branch, doesn't repair Ford vehicles. I think you have the wrong number." She didn't apologize, she simply hung up. You're an Air Marshal. I just flew home after a quick business event. I was in an aisle seat. There were two ladies sitting in the seats in front of me. They were maybe mid-50s, most likely family because they were talking about Thanksgiving plans. The lady in front of me was so loud, they probably heard those Thanksgiving plans all the way up in the cockpit. Across the aisle from them was a man probably in his 30s who was quite muscular. Shortly after the seatbelt sign came off, the muscular man got up to use the restroom, and the lady directly in front of me practically screamed to her companion, "I think that man's an Air Marshal. He just sat there during takeoff and was really paying attention to everything." To which the other lady just said, "Maybe." The funny part was about 10 minutes later when the Air Marshal got a drink which happened to have alcohol in it. At which point the lady said, "Well, I guess he's not an Air Marshal." Her voice was just dripping with how offended she was the poor man chose a profession other than the one she picked him out for. I just got a huge kick out of that. Completely reminded me of this sub, so I had to share. Wow, how dare he not be an Air Marshal. Ugh. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more videos like it, then click on screen right now and subscribe if you haven't already.